Hey everyone, it's your boy John. I should start doing that. I guess since Zach says he's going to not do regular uploads anymore. I made a joke in 2019 because he this is an aside. He got rid of his brand Diversity in Comics, which I thought was a great brand, and I renamed my channel that for a couple months. People threw a fit at me, and just goes to show how crazy comic people are, again, which is going to be the topic of the video. Threw a fit. You're stealing his brand. No, he got rid of it, and it was a joke. And even jokes are too much for a lot of comic people on the internet. They're just so angry all the time, and to the point where it's really unhinged. And we got a few examples of that today. I saw what was going on with Eric July's Rippaverse and just wanted to talk about it in an extra video real quick. My name's John Delarose, though. If you are a longtime fan, if you're new, I would love for you to check out my books. I've been making comics since 2017. And we've got, if you look on my store, I've got a ton of graphic novels, lots of stuff, a little something for everybody. We have fantasy and Deus Vult. Top Grift is a really fun book, too. Flying Sparks, if you like Rippaverse, I think I'd start with Flying Sparks. It's got a 5-volume story, which has a whole superhero universe I build out of that. And there's more. I've got Overmind, my science fiction universe, which we're about to get the second volume going pretty shortly. Cosmic Warriors, another great one. If you want to check those out, everything's good, but it's a little something different for everybody. I wanted to create a full-on universe so that you guys can kind of just get into what you love. And I appreciate everybody who's been supporting so far. Another great way to support is, of course, join the Subscribe Star, which is where I'm posting a lot of my stuff regularly. You can see a picture of Ayla Rin right here. I might use this as a cover. It's gorgeous. And we are making our first exclusive comic to here. Now, Extra Sensory #1, if you are a Flying Sparks fan, does tie into Flying Sparks. There's a character that spins out of there, and I won't spoil too much. If you want to have some info on that later, I can talk to you about that offline. But yes, we're putting out our first exclusive comic. People on here, this is where I really want to be at the end of the day. And it is somewhere where I think we have this patronage option. You can support us directly monthly as a membership. And I appreciate everybody who's on here so far. Thanks so much. All right, back to the story of the day and the unhinged comic people on the internet. So I got a lot of hate when I just made a joke a few years back. Because, again, I thought your boy Zach made a mistake by changing his channel name. And I still think that's the case. I think that was a great channel name, and I think Comics Matter with your boy Zach is a much lamer channel name. No offense, Zach. And, now he's saying that he's not going to upload much anymore, and he's going to be dialing that back, which makes us really the comic news central place. Comics by Perch says he's going to be dialing down towards the end of the year. That leaves, I guess, me as last man standing. Nobody cares about comics anymore, is what it comes down to. And but we still do. And some days I wonder if it's worth it. And I got this message yesterday from a fellow, and you could see that he said, brain dead, Nazi, delusional, scum, all this crap. And I'm like, yeah, get some help. It's not healthy. I just report on comic books. Says the Nazi pushing disproven Nazi propaganda. You deserve to be arred and executed. Oh, my God. These people are gross. And we talked about how Tom Taylor, actually, the other day, got somebody burning his image. It turned out this was some lesbian girl who was mad that Barbara Gordon can walk again after being Oracle, which Tom Taylor didn't even do. That was something that was done years ago in DC Comics. But now it's coming to the Rippaverse. There's some crazy stuff happening in our circles where I guess family members are being attacked and openly mocked online, and people are going at family members of different internet personalities. And that's something that's a risk. I mean, there's a reason I very much keep my family off the internet. I don't ever post on Instagram, nothing, no pictures. You don't see me doing anything on that level. Especially when it comes to the kids. And I just don't want anyone near the kids. That is that's something that shouldn't have to be said these days. But so many people post a lot. They post their kids' stuff, their activities, locations. I think that stuff's dangerous personally, and I would recommend you don't do that if you do. I think it's something that the kids shouldn't have to deal with, even if you're not a minor e-celeb or whatnot. It's just scary to have that information out there for people. And people have come at my kids before. The first time I kind of came to prominence, I had an article written by Fake News Bleeding Cool Rich Johnston went at me, and I got a bunch of death threats and weird messages, just like I showed you. And that guy started with a death threat, by the way. He was of course, in another post, but somebody started coming at my kids and started posting my kids like stuff like medical condition stuff that like I don't even know where they got that information. So this space is really weird, and it's all because of comics. Like I don't deal with this stuff when it comes to like my like regular book people. Even the people who hate me, there's a lot of people who hate me in like books too. But those people seem to like know that there's a line that you don't cross. But comics, like I don't know if it's like a level of autism or what's happening in the comic sphere, but you just get these nasty threats, which are way different in a way different level than you see elsewhere, and that's what we are showing today. Now, this is an artist who was entering the Rippaverse contest, which is an art contest to get something published for the Rippaverse. I'd enter, but I don't know how to draw. And so this artist here, who I don't know, not affiliated with this person, but I found the story kind of harrowing and kind of like, oh gosh, this just sucks that our sphere's like this. What can we do about it? It says, I've decided to pull out of submitting the Yaira fan art contest for the Rippaverse. Due to recent events happening on X, it's highlighted to me people are prepared to pull family members into their own grudges and shenanigans. Creepy. As much as I would have liked to enter, I don't need these bitter and unhinged terminally online getting a hold of my name, finding ways of bringing my family into this shit, and that's not what to do with them and do not deserve. I wanted to meet cool people and create cool things. Fair. Yes, I let myself get too fired up at some of the absolutely insane interactions I've seen online. I told myself I wouldn't get involved or say anything, but some people have said and done things that are huge triggers for me, and after a lifetime of being silent, I couldn't stand silent on some of these issues, and unfortunately, I started to sound and act like these people, just to see how they like to be treated that way. It's a childish response, and ultimately, I just don't want to become like those people. It's interesting to me. I sometimes clap back pretty hard at some of these people. And they really don't understand. What's crazy is they're in this thing. I got a lot of heat a couple weeks ago reporting what was going on in the Ed Piskor situation. People were telling me to off myself, etc. And I'm like, don't you realize you're mad at me claiming I'm whatever part of whatever mob, which I'm not, because those people hate me. And they actually directed that traffic at me. Alex DeCampi, Daryl Ayo, the people in Ed Piskor's suicide note, actually directed them to harass me on Blue Sky. Hi, Daryl and Alex. I know you watch this. And what happened with that was like these people just came at me telling me to off myself, threatening me and all that. And I actually tried to dialogue with a couple of them. I'm like, don't you realize you are the mob that like is doing that? Like you literally do you have any sense of the irony of what you're doing? They don't. They will never see it. Like there's no like way to just talk with them. There's no way to just have civil dialogues with any of these people. They're just filled with anger all the time. And that's what I'm finding, and that's what this sad artist is finding also. Hate and bitterness or whatever it's over they have going on in their life, despite what I've said on here in retaliation to the noise. I actually care far more about the people than I think they'd realize, and I'd never truly want to hate anyone. I'd rather just everyone could get on with life without needing to make enemies, cause so much anger and stress for themselves. Life is hard enough, and if we just helped each other through it, our days would look and feel so much better. I've been saying this for years, like if we just banded together as indies on the internet and just really stood up for each other and just like, I mean, we would get so far. But the infighting is so much that like, I get people who won't buy my book because I like a certain creator, or won't buy my book because a certain creator signaled they don't like me. And it's like, okay, well, like, what does that have to do with the book? Just like, I mean, chill out. Why do you hate me? And I don't understand it. It's very weird, and I try not to think about this stuff too much because you can't get anything done if you do, is what it comes down to. This guy continues on for a long thread. But basically what happened is this person's dropping out of the art contest just because he doesn't want to be, I assume he's a he, associated with, somebody coming after him, trying to dox him, etc., all because he did some fan art for a project like Yaira. And that's a very real possibility. There's a lot of unhinged people, which is really, really, really sad at the end of the day. And so I would like, for everybody to calm down, be a little more civil. The people who hate me and hate watch me, chill out. Like, why do you actually hate me? You'll be like, JDA, grifter, scum, blah, and it's like, well, I'm just a dude trying to make comic books for a living. And there's way better ways to make money than comic books. It's a terrible grift if that's what's going on. And I care about the culture war. I really genuinely do. And I want to bring back our culture to a Christ-focused culture like we used to have, because it was much better then. Everything out of the golden age, the 40s, the 50s, was much better before the boomers and their weird sexual drug revolution took everything over and changed everything. And we need to bring it back. It's important. It's important for our children. It's important for us. And I hope you come to understand. And don't hate the messenger. I'm just reporting a lot of the times. And you'll probably like my comics anyway. So, yeah, very sad news right here. And I hope this kind of thing dials down. People need to see that this is just not okay. This needs to stop. And, that's my thoughts on the process. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Make sure to check out my books on my delarose.com store here, guys. Really hope you'll read Flying Sparks. Grab the whole series. I promise you, it builds so well. Get on the subscribe star is another great way to support us and help us build something real here to fight the culture war and create our own culture. I appreciate you being there. We'll be back soon.